Welcome back to the Laurence McKenna channel. Let's get right into this. As you might already know, Sonos are the official sound partner for Liverpool, which is my team. Sonos is celebrating how sound and emotion play a role on match day, like you getting ready for the game in your house, playing music there, or the team using motivational music in the dressing room to get ready for the game. As part of this celebration, we got to spend some time with Joe Gomez, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Sadio Mane. Not much more needs to be said, apart from the fact that this was recorded pre the City game in the league. So just bear in mind, a lot of the answers will be based around that sort of time. But I really don't want to get in the way of this, so here they come. Sadio Mane, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Joe Gomez. We started by asking if you had to pick between the league and a trophy on the continent, which one would you pick?
It's tough because I don't think they're on a level playing field with the external changes that we went through, I think. And obviously for me on a personal note, I feel like I had different involvements. But I think if I look back at memories, I feel like the parade and so on, and naturally that made it feel like it was a bigger memory. But and the gap where we stopped in the Premier League kind of like it took away from it a bit. But I think if you could have the same surroundings, the atmosphere, and have all the support back in the stadium, I'd go to Premier League because I think it would have been a real special occasion.
There's only one way to find out, right? Like, there's
do it again. Yeah,
make it happen, Joe. We got faith in you guys. If you had a free kick on the edge of the box, 90th minute, and it was to win it, and a teammate comes over to you and says, "I'm actually pretty confident for this," but you've stood over it, you've set it up. Do you give it up?
This is a good question. This is a very good question because I've always said that if I'm not 100% sure, like that I can score it. So if I've got a little bit of doubt and a teammate comes to me and says, "Look, I think I can score this," then I'll step away 100% of the time. But then now I'm thinking about it, it's like your ego starts to come into it, and it's like, come on, like, do you want your name in headlights or do you want to give it to your teammates? But no, I have said if I feel like one of my teammates is more confident than I am, then that's fair enough. I'll back them because I trust in their ability. See them in training all the time, so you know that's the fair thing and the good thing to do.
How often would you say that you are less confident than one of them, though? Because surely there's like almost 100% sometimes where you're just
it is almost 100%. I'd say the further out I get, then it's like, can I get enough power on it and technique to realistically do this? And then it's like maybe it might be better suited to Virgil because, or like even like if it's a bit wider, a little bit of a different angle, maybe it's better suited to a left footer or something like that. So it depends. But if it's kind of in a general area where it's doable, then it's rare that I won't feel like I'm able to score.
Talking of training stuff, I know players hate talking about training, but like talking about training stuff, how much are you guys swapping notes on stuff like that? Like, you know, when you first got Thiago in from Bayern Munich, were you like, "I've seen you do this pass, but I've tried this 100 times. Can you teach me?" Or, you know, are you having chats like that? Or talk me through that a little bit.
I wouldn't say it goes down like that, but I feel like just from training with people, you pick things up. It's more like you start to understand people's strengths and weaknesses. So then it's like, you know what you can and can't do with certain teammates. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, like I know that Robbo's right foot is a no-go zone. Like, you cannot give it to his right foot because it's just for standing on.
You are still part of an iconic back line, but when you won the Premier League title last time, you actually were, you were pretty much the only first-choice centre-back in the side to go alongside Virgil van Dijk. What is it like to, what's your thought process at this point in the season, and how do you treat the season? What kind of things are you thinking at this point, and how are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's my, 7th season or so, and none have been the same. It's obviously clear I've had my setbacks and also seasons where I've really enjoyed my football. And I think this year has been, obviously, it's been tough. I think every player wants to play as many games as they can, and I haven't played as much as obviously I'd have liked, but I think it's still about, for me personally, applying myself every day, still chasing the desire to improve in any way possible, whether that's mentally, physically, or yeah, just anyhow, and also with that, being the best teammate I can be. Obviously, for myself, I want to get back in the team, but then that then transpires to pushing the other players like to train well. If they're not at it and then I'm at it, that's the point of training. It's evident I can try and get back in. So yeah, just doing what I can to stay at it, sort of thing.
There's always these pictures at the end of training. We see them going out, everyone looking super happy. I've won this side. Who's your dream team of doing that in training?
How many players have I got?
Let's say you're playing, I'll give you 7 aside, but that could take a while, but I'm happy with that.
Am I including myself in that stuff?
Oh, absolutely, of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, Alisson.
Easy.
Virgil. Fabinho. Thiago. Me, Alisson. Virgil.
You got 5. Yeah, you need 2 more.
Mo. Bobby.
Who are those members of the team that you think everyone in the side look towards for kind of leadership in this time? And like, who are the vocal people?
Probably the ones you'd expect in a way. Obviously the skipper and the manager, the senior lads, Millie and Verge and so on. I guess naturally in any environment, whether it's a working environment or football environment, there's some characters that can have a real domino effect on the whole mood. And I think Verge is normally quite vibrant and loud, and then if he didn't stay himself, then it would be apparent, maybe something's up. Same with Hendo, same with Millie, naturally. And then obviously we have the gaffer and the coaching staff that lead the way of training, and their approach to sessions obviously doesn't change, and then that helps us to feel confident and to go into the game treating it how we should, sort of thing.
Who would you say has influenced your style of play the most in football? And who would you say is the guy that when you look back to the 90s, the early 2000s players, before you were out there on the pitch, you watch that tape and you're like, that's the guy that I could, I want to take this little part of his game?
Dani Alves. Dani Alves. I admired him the most as many fullback. I think he's incredible. What he does for me, the best right back ever. Because I used to love that Barca team. What he was doing within that team was frightening.
Obviously, you've had a new signing more recently in Diaz. He's massively impacted the team. What's it like now, doing your training sessions with him? What impact do you see that he's had on the side?
Yeah, I think he's a top player. I think one of the biggest things is that obviously as a team, the managers instilled a real philosophy to play with high intensity and to press well. And I think to come in the way, obviously on the ball, he speaks for itself. He's so direct and he's a nightmare, I think, for fullbacks, because it's not as common nowadays to have such a direct winger that wants to take you on. And I know playing fullback, what it feels like, it's uncomfortable. But then on the other side, to come in and tactically just understand the philosophy and to press with such tenacity and the way he plays, I think he couldn't have gelled any better. So I don't think he could be much happier with how he's settled in.
If there's any player that you could switch position with in this Liverpool team right now and be like, I want to have a go from their position, who would you? Yeah.
I've tried all the back line, so I'm relieved that's boring. I'll probably it's not an easy role to fill, massive boots to fill, but I think Fabi to play in protecting the back four is probably the most transferable in a way that I could appreciate what Fabi does for us.
I enjoy having the ball, and I just feel like we take up similar positions. He's just more inside the pitch, in the centre.
Try and get about the pitch and mock things up. I don't think I'd fare well.
Are you not hopping in that front line or sort of, you're taking up a Sadio?
Yeah, I don't think I'd fare well trying to emulate what Mo and Sadio or Jots, any of them. I'll just leave that and leave that to them.
And if I was going to play midfield, I would probably think I would play more of a holding role rather than a box-to-box energizer kind of vibe. Because I feel like my qualities are having the ball at my feet, not running.
Huge game this weekend. What's the feeling in the team? What kind of things are being said, and how's everyone reacting to this high pressure environment?
I guess no one needs to remind all of us that it's a massive game. On the flip side, I think we all kind of go off the manager's guidance and his leadership, and he's more of a mind frame that everything to lose, nothing to gain. And I think that sort of mindset with the team's philosophy and the way we play is the best way to approach it, rather than feeling, if we're hesitant or worried about the pessimistic outcome, then it's not going to help us on the pitch.
Let's just finish on what the feeling's like in the squad. As we're doing this interview, you're going into the biggest game of the season, and it's huge.
So far. Hopefully there's bigger games to come. It's exciting. You want these games. I think we've grinded hard over the last few months. They've dropped a few points. We've managed to have a lot of consistency over all competitions, picked up a trophy along the way.
Obviously, it's the balance. I understand then that it's a big game, but also being relaxed and understanding that to get the best out of ourselves, we have to do what we do normally and treat it like another game in a way. It is just another game, really, in the grand scheme. Like, it's 90 minutes of football that we do every other week. It's just, we understand mathematically that there's a lot on the line.
It's exciting. It's hard to think of the game and not have a smile on your face. These are the games we want to play in, These are the games we want to play in. It's always a big game against City, always, but when it's so tight and a good result can change a lot of things and a bad result can change a lot of things, then there's a lot on the line. And I think on Sunday we shall see an outstanding game of football of the highest quality, I'm imagining.
Then, of course, Sadio Mane entered the room and he was in very high demand, but we did get to say this to him.
First of all, Sadio, congratulations for everything that's been going on in the international scene for you. You guys have made so many of our dreams come true, so we're so happy for you to get everything that you wanted as well. It's amazing.
Then we asked him if you had to pick between the league or a trophy on the continent, which one would you pick?
To be honest, as I win both, I think, and the squad we have this season, I think it will be difficult for me to just choose one. I think I need both.
That's exactly what I want to hear. Thank you. Have a good game this weekend. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Laurence.
So there you go. That was Joe Gomez, Sadio Mane, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. 3 players from what I consider to be a generational side that I will be talking about for the rest of my life. So thank you so much to Sonos for giving us this opportunity. Let me know in the comments below what you guys would love to ask these guys. And if we get any more opportunities, we can pose those questions. Don't forget, if there's more content that you want to see here, then you can hit the subscribe button, hit like because it helps us out. And we love to hear from you. So get in the comment section. We'll see you again real soon right here for some more good content.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, man. Take care.
Cut.